For some, love is a strong feeling. What if you could send it in a... From point A to point B. Zero borders, zero time, zero fees. For us, love is sending crypto. Just send it. Now with Smart Send. Engineered in Switzerland by SwissBorg.
Pow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, pow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay.
Pow wow, yo, yippee yay, guys. Pow number 19. Super excited to be with you guys today. As always, we're going to talk about what's happening with the markets, with the bears, how the big announcement of the weeks, talk about product listing, and how SwissBorg ecosystem is flourishing on a daily basis. As you guys know, my name is Cyrus Fazel. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg. Always here to serve you. This week, there's a lot of FUD, obviously, regarding the whole Luna crisis, saying that was Luna the end of UST? Wasn't it organized by all the big guys in crypto? So you're seeing a lot of different theories that are putting a lot of major stakeholders that's saying that the crash was inevitable, but there was people taking profit from it and really working out from the big whales to make out some money in order to essentially crush out the smaller ones. So a lot of investigation that has been brought directly into Korea, but as well throughout the world on Quan, on a lot of different players that are into the cryptosphere. So we're going to see what's going to happen about that. Australia, largest bank, pauses the NAP crypto, trades it to market crash. Unfortunately, that happens a lot. There's a lot of different, essentially, exchanges of crypto that went down. China re-emerged as the second largest miner of the US despite the ban of 2021. Interesting to see that, a lot of Chinese miners are still very big, and though there are a lot of these Chinese that actually went to the States, and a lot of Kazakhstan as well, but we're still seeing a very big amount of Chinese, miners. Interesting to see. Last but not least is Tether. We're actually going to meet in an hour. Has been a lot of withdrawals regarding Tether. So Tether has been one of the first stable coin and the biggest in terms of market cap that is owned by the Tether company, which is a Bitfinex holding company. A lot of people are flying to security, going from USD to USDT to eventually USDC, right? We met the team, met the CEO and the team as well. USDC is definitely one of most stable of the stable coins. The reason why Tether, some people are a little bit afraid about Tether, is that as it's a BVI structure, the holdings that are behind are not as liquid as we hope would be. However, they've been in the market forever, and we do know that there's still a strong position in T-bills, but there's some positions as well in corporate bonds and other things. Actually, to go at Tether, so it's interesting to see directly. So looking at Tether here, you can see that Tether, there's a big actually portion that is in on Tron, the network. You see there's some on Ethereum as well. So it's pretty much the combination of these two. You see that it's 38 billion, probably a lot of money of of Justin Sun himself, and a lot on the Ethereum ecosystem. But there's as well on Solana a little bit less than 2 billion, and Omni, which was one of the first one, and a little bit less in Avalanche. The massive withdrawals has been from these two pairs essentially, which was essentially on Tron and as well on Ethereum. And looking at because everyone always say that essentially Tether is not audited. It is audited, but usually it's audited by Cayman or by different entities that are offshore, not like where USDC it's really onshore. It's American reserves, so we see it. So look into this. It's very important to see. Okay, so we could see that there's 6% of digital tokens. So that could be like Bitcoin, Ethereum, that could be Tron. That means if the market is tanking, well, 6% of the total assets we talked about earlier, right, of the $70 billion is in crypto. So we see here that there's roughly $5 billion that are in crypto, right? Then these are secured loans, non to affiliate entities. So what they do is that they could work like for Maples or with different lending platforms, but they actually lend to companies such as SwissBorg, Celsius, and other ones. Though, see, they don't lend anything to us, but just to make things clear. This, in case of the market really going down, potentially here we see a risk of not being able to commit, and people could do default on this yield on these loans and not be able to pay in right timing. So here you see that now this is 10% pretty much that is in different backing that are not the super safest, right? Then we see that there's 4.5% of corporate bonds, funds, precious metals. Corporate bonds as it is, it's already lost 12% this year, right? So, corporate bonds are not going to zero, but long story short, when you increase interest rates, this could be another thing that's a little bit different and difficult to essentially pay back in this case. So let's say roughly here, there's maybe, 1-2% at risk. So long story short, if you look at this, you see that what they're saying at the reserve breakdown, there's over 10% that's at jeopardy, so over $7 billion. And then the rest it's essentially it's a lot of short-term deposits and commercial papers. And within that, so the cash and equivalent here, there's a lot of treasury T-bills, which are three months. So you see that here is 55%. Then there's essentially cash spot deposits. Money market funds are daily usually, and commercial paper and certificates and deposits usually are done within a week. So we could see here that, as they're saying, 85% of the reserve is quite liquid, meaning that within a month or so, they'll be able essentially to pay back the whole 85% of the 70 billion. So we're talking here of almost over, let's say, from 45 to, let's say, 60 billion. So looking at the total reserve, there's roughly from 40 to 60 billion dollars of Tether. That seems quite liquid, and probably 45 billion that are liquid, like extremely liquid. So that means that there's still a strong case. There's been a pullback, as you guys have seen. There's been over 10, 12 billion that has been pulled out of USDT that went to USD. We might see this is going to be a future trend because people always fly to quality whenever things are going bad, and even in crypto. But nevertheless, it still seemed like a strong essentially backing, and they've been in the game for always. We're going to do a report on this, by the way, so keep tuned in. Market update, looking at the bottom, things don't look very good, right? We're still at this 30,000 level. It's going to 29,000. Is testing it as we talk. So these levels are not very, very comfortable, right? We see well that the stock market, it's been pretty much like on the yearly base. We see it's very correlated. Still, we're seeing that Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes down, other things will go down as well. Unfortunately, that's what things going. We're still seeing a very strong correlation. All the pandemic, the war, and obviously the economical situation is actually very poor for this. So it doesn't look like anything for time being looks positive. I think so, which is interesting to see as well, is that the state of DeFi post Luna is very different. Luna now is out of the picture. Luna has put a lot of pressure into DeFi. There's the half of the total value locked into crypto, into DeFi, has been actually wiped out within the recent days. You could see that, long story short, the green is Ethereum, the purple is Luna, and it's just finished. It's done. So, yeah, unfortunately for that, things are not looking green at all. On the other side, Tron, with the Sun platform and as well with their USDT, they have gained a lot of traction. which is quite really cool to see. And near protocol as well, actually, as actually there's building new things on it, so there's some new momentum there. And yeah, we could see that a little billion on total in Tron has been added. Obviously, Sun has been a platform. It's you do lending on it. It's like an Aave type. And there's as well different AMMs as well. So a little bit different beast from it. They're offering very high yields on that platform to back USDT and to be able to create decentralized stablecoin. However, we're seeing the Luna case with UST Terra are not as favorable as it was a few months ago. So it still remains quite small, but congratulations though to the Tron network to get back into DeFi a little bit after 2 years where nothing was happening, which is a bit awkward. They missed the whole, summer and 2 years of DeFi, but at least something's coming out now. What happens to CHSB potential repositioning? I think so. Obviously, when markets are not going well, it's very hard to see that the CHSB is going to perform well, right? When everything is bare, well, people and all cryptos tend to correct and be quite strongly, I would say, aligned and correlated. Sorry. The good thing is that we're seeing a lot of people buying back. I mean, SwissBorg has done a buyback today as well, which is great. We see that most of our crypto community are people that essentially are holding. I think the people that are rebuying. I think so. It's a good time to go from community premium to generous premium, obviously. So there's a lot of people taking this advantage and brave way to see that again, it's really fun to enjoy the nice times, but the biggest wealth accumulation always happening within crisis. And this is to really understand that things are not easy. And when people are at extreme fear, we're seeing right now the extreme fear, Bitcoin, which is 10, is one of the lowest possible, is usually time where people should be acting to some extent. Obviously, making sure that this is not happening in any of your economies that you're not able to pay back in the future. But these are good times if you've been able to cut some of your profits in the past while we're going through bullish scenarios. Question of the week. What are SwissBorg customers? We don't have customers. It's community. Where are they from? Mainly Europe, because it's where we have the best packages, where we're regulated, and this is where we're based. But we have people there and there and there and there. And we will be only growing and bringing mass adoption as soon as we're able to integrate checkout.com, which is happening in the back end for any payments in and out that can bring fiats from all the countries that have debit cards and credit cards. So imagine how that's going to be a great way. But we won't be doing the US for regulatory reasons. The real thing and the real love is Crypto Jazz. Shout out to you. You are the coolest artists we have, or one of the coolest artists, because obviously it's Robin Sprengers and many others. But really happy belated birthday. Thank you so much, NFTs. I just love them. Thank you for the cool videos that you've been doing, especially on the cyber. It was really fun. And we need more Crypto Jazz. We need to jazz it up. If you want to be part of a community, you know what to do. Download the app. If you want to work full time, apply to the job, or refer one of your best friends or anyone that you know that is suitable for these positions, and you earn a lot of. Announcement of the week, 1 year. Happy birthday to the Community Premium, and it's a great time to remind how much this has helped many of our users, and we're seeing more and more people that are getting to Community Premium, and as some people generous. So what's your thoughts on that? Happy birthday to you guys. Talking about cool stuff happening in the app, there is MC. MC is a meta guild, Merit Circle, a great meta guild that enables people to be part of a community, to have a DAO structured. You can mint NFT, to start doing some gaming, you do some sporting, esport as well. Is it something similar to essentially SwissBorg? It is in some way, but obviously SwissBorg is the number one Web3 esport in the world. Pegasus Club. So what's the Pegasus? Pegasus is one of the, let's say, high net worth individuals that are on the SwissBorg ecosystem. They have a very big amount of CHSB and a great amount of actually AUM, the platform. So what is the pillars of Pegasus? It's a club that high net worth individuals enjoy, and they enjoy be part in this club because essentially they get a lot of market information through edutainment. They get to a lot of different events and they have different investment opportunities. And what is really good is that the whole edutainment part is done for many people, so they really try to provide like great market information that enables to have like monthly updates what's happening on in the DeFi and NFT and metaverse, some technical analysis that's really done, some weekly smart reviews as well, and quarterly knowledgeable reports, which is really nice. More than that, there's events that's really managed by a lot of people in the team that contributes to super cool events, and we had in Paris, we had as well in Barcelona, we have one in Lausanne recently. We had as well, we're about to have one in Zurich. We're going to have one during Montreux Jazz Festival as well. And we're going to have one in French Riviera. So it's a really cool place as well to enjoy and meet like-minded people too. And in terms of other perks that goes to this is people could get deal flow of essentially different SwissBorg Venture deals. And obviously this is something really great. How do you become a Pegasus Club member? You have to be Generation Premium or a Genesis Premium. You have to have a certain amount of AUM. I think so. It's over $100,000 or $200,000. It's for high net worth individuals. It's really as well to get really great RMs, right? These RMs speak a lot of different languages, are very knowledgeable. It could really help you guys to essentially be part of this. And it's great because there's a lot of different age groups within it, and it's a great way to have a similar white glove service that you have, like for example in private banking. And it shows again that maybe not everyone could afford it, but at least it could bring a lot of new people into from high net worth to essentially SwissBorg, and we're seeing that this is definitely a very great business model for the ecosystem. And if you're not able to be part of it, it doesn't really matter. We're doing it anyways. A lot of different events, still have a lot of different investment experience, and overall, this is helping obviously to grow SwissBorg network. Just talked about earlier the fact that Community Premium is just 1 year old, and while this is happening, there's actually a lot of people going to Generation Premium, especially this last week, right? So we're seeing people that were Community Premium, see here that upgraded, seeing as well standard people going to Genesis Premium, which is really good. And actually, there's a little downgrade from some Genesis people that essentially maybe are not using enough essentially the trading. I'm just saying like, okay, I don't need to have free pairs on most tradings. What I just need is trade time to time and get that 2x. And this is going to be probably something very growing, whereas that we're going to see a lot of Genesis probably going down to Generation Premium, which is fine because they'll still be staking their CHSB because they love it. And they'll still be able to get like a 2x on the yield, which is great. And we're seeing a lot of different community upgrade. Just funny, a good friend of mine just called me right now. I was like, hey, Cyrus, I'm trying to upgrade community to essentially a Generation Premium, which is really cool to see that. Weekly data with CHSB, we have reduced 50% down from premium last week, which is over 500, was really great. We're now 250. CHSB stake almost 190 million, almost 400 million the yield. Little drop on the SwissBorg token, close to 4 million the protected shoes. And we've grown actually quite closely to 134,000 SwissBorg token holders in the app, which brings us to the community index and down. Really bad, guys. Really, really bad. Unfortunately, this is a bad week. Eventually, because the other week was really immensely really good. So when you have those peaks, it goes down, right? You have the head and shoulders and whatever you do, right? Right? If you inhale strong, you exhale strong. And that's exactly what happened. So we shouldn't be obviously too worry about this because it's on a weekly, but we definitely need to increase the CHSB, the app activity, the social media, not FUDing, but actually real good activity, and grow the invitations. That's something that we really need to do. The volume though in the app is pretty much okay, and the CHSB holders actually has increased, so that's great.
Oh, Cyrus, guys, what you're doing is so different.
I'm like, oh, thank you very much. What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. You just have like a community that backs. You have such a nice branding, a technology, and you've been in the game for 5 years. And most of these projects, they all are like 1 year, 2 years old, and they just drop out, right, and just do new projects.
And I said, well, you know, you have to be a fighter and a lover, because if you're a lover, you have to fight for that love. And a lot of people just love things, but they forget to fight for it. And that's what I'm asking you guys, is how much fight that you could put at this time, right? If you're here for 5 years at SwissBorg, here for 5 days, we have this genuine love that could carry us for the next 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years. And I think so this is exactly what it is. Not only the resilience, but the fact that we need to change this planet in the environmental touch. We need to change it in social governance. I just, walked into the streets yesterday. I saw the mayor of Kiev, right? And I looked at him. I'm like, look what he's facing. And he looked, he was smiling. He looked strong. And I was like, man, that's some guy that did have these enormous balls. So, we know we had faced this UST challenge. We're going to face more challenge going forward. But what we do know is that we're connected to a real mission, which is democratizing wealth management. And more importantly, is helping this planet to decentralize power and to make it better. And wanted to shout out to Michel that did really a beautiful thing last Sunday. I couldn't attend, unfortunately. Was about to donate to a really good project for the education of different diseases like Parkinson's diseases. And I see it when all the community, we go and work on different things, and we do this in a very humble way. It shows that, going forward, the future is only bright. So as always, guys, be healthy, be wealthy, and love our CHSB. Take care, guys. Bye.
Through SwissBorg, all assets will have a fiat gateway. And here is the thing.
Premium features gives you zero fee trading.
It's an amazing fiat gateway.
For some, love is a strong feeling. What if you could send it from point A to point B? Zero borders, zero time, zero fees. For us, love is sending crypto. Just send it. Now with Smart Send. Engineered in Switzerland by SwissBorg.